Hey, welcome to Coffee Time with the Beginning Guitarist. I'm Richard, and this here's my coffee. Today's coffee mug is my precious. I'm a big nerd. I like Star Wars, Lord of the Rings, Avengers, all the Marvels, things like that. Yeah, I am a nerd, can't help it. In the first video that I put out, I kind of introduced myself and talked a little bit about things I want to discuss. One of them is lessons. I did take lessons as a kid. I was 12 years old at the time, and this is the guitar that my parents got me. It's a pretty big guitar. It was a little too big for me at the time. I had a hard time reaching over. Because it's acoustic, I had a harder time pressing down on the strings to get any kind of good sound on it. I got very frustrated, and my parents had no idea about guitars and what to do. They had no idea that guitars had to be set up at all. So I really didn't have the right guitar for me. I also had the wrong teacher. This guy was unreliable. He only wanted to teach me rock songs, and which is very hard to do on an acoustic, especially when you're the size that I was and having to press down. He didn't want to teach me any chords at all, just like solos of rock songs. He didn't want to teach me how to read music, not even the tab system. So I became frustrated, thought that the guitar was way too difficult for me, and I quit. But I did keep the guitar. Kept it all these years. I mean, I think it looks pretty good for being 40 some odd years old, especially for not being played for almost 30 of them. I mean, I think that's pretty good. So why did I start up now with starting learning the guitar again, taking lessons again? Well, it is to kind of fulfill that dream that I had when I was a kid. You know, I really wanted to play. And now after about 25 years of being a dad, and with my youngest, I have twins, boy-girl twins, who are now 20, I want to do something for me. I want to learn something for me. So I started up. Because of these two major situations, I started to take these classes online. First is, well, it started during the middle of the COVID. I had more time at that, because nobody was going anywhere. And the other reason why I started doing lessons online was because of my crazy work schedule. Each week I have a different schedule because I'm a nurse. Not every week. I'm not a Monday through Friday worker. I have to work every other weekend. I also work nights. So setting up to do a regimented lesson at a place would be very difficult, and it wouldn't be very fair to the instructor. Could I make it that week? Could I not make it that week? So doing it online, I felt was better for my schedule, because I could even do it at night, like stay up late for the next day if I have the night off and I need to get back into that schedule of being on nights. I could actually play and practice at night when there's no place open to do lessons at that time. Now, there are some things that I do really like about doing online courses. I can go at my own pace. I can also go back and refer back to the lesson at any time. So if I think I'm missing something, I can go back and re-watch the lesson that was being done, listen to what he has to say again, practice a little bit more with him at that time. Can't quite do that. I mean, if your lesson's on like Wednesday at 3 o'clock in the afternoon and it's Saturday 2 in the afternoon, you just can't say, well, I'm just going to go in and get this lesson done. One, the person might not be available at that time. Two, there might be somebody that's there already taking a lesson. You can't jump in on their lesson. You wouldn't like them to do that to you. So, it was better for scheduling, for me, to be able to do it online that way. What I don't like is I don't get feedback. I don't get any feedback by when I'm practicing and playing. You can't say, oh, maybe you need to move your fingers a little bit this way. You're not arching your fingers up high enough. You got to press down a little bit more on the board. So you're not getting that feedback that you need to make the notes. You can guess, okay, well, what's going on here, and I by trial and error. So it takes a little bit longer sometimes to get the chords down, to understand the chords a little bit. Also, you can't get a custom lesson. Like, let's say that you are having trouble in a certain area. They can't redo another lesson to make it so you understand. Or what if there's a certain song that you want to learn? You can't just say, oh, I want to learn this song. It's, they're not going to be able to do that online. There's only so many classes. And what if you choose a song that's really difficult for a beginner, and now you're frustrated because you think you should get it? I mean, like, finger picking is very difficult to do for a beginner. So don't try to pick one of those songs to do. But you really want to learn it, maybe there's a way, maybe they can give you that encouragement, but you can't get a custom lesson by going online. Also, there's nobody to jam with. I mean, if you really think about it, your first personal instructor is like a jam buddy for you. They play a song and you play a song, you play the rhythm while they play the lead, just to show you what it's like, and then you do the opposite, where they do the rhythm and help you out with the lead part. I mean, that's a great way to build up your confidence, and with somebody who you feel safe with, because if you go to somebody else's place and they're like amazing compared to what you're doing, you're not going to want to do it. You're going to say, you know what, I'm going to stay at home. But you can learn so much by jamming with someone else. So by having that in-person instructor, that can really help you out in getting to jam with somebody else. Doing it online and jamming like over, line online, there's always that little delay that happens. So you're not going to be at the same time. You're not going to be in sync with each other like you would with somebody who's live with you. So that jam buddy can really be instrumental in getting you to your next level that you want to be. So my advice to you is to figure out what works best for you. Online, I go to justinguitar.com. I like how he does things, how he introduces things. He starts off with some basic chords for you to play and how to switch chords. And you can go as fast or as slow as you want. You can go back through. He has a great way of talking. His stuff is free, but you can donate to him. Later on, when you get further up into the lessons, you do have to pay for them. But for the basics to get you going, they're free lessons. He has songs that you can go to on YouTube that he shows you how to do each one and what set you need to do in what way and the right strumming for it. So it's really great. And another one that I've learned to like is Marty Music. He has a really simple way of introducing things to you and showing things to you. And sometimes I'll start out with Justin for a song, and if I'm having trouble and I'm not understanding the way that he's talking about or what have you, I'll sometimes see if Marty has got it and use it from there. But I go back to Justin for my bass lessons. Now, in the future, I think I'm going to also supplement going to an instructor so I can get some better feedback now that I have starting to get a lot of the basics down and a lot of the regular chords down, the cowboy chords as they call them. So I think that might help out. Now, if you have a child who's starting off with guitar, I think that in person would be really, really good for them. Now, if they can't, for me, the work schedule gets in the way. For other kids, it might be after-school activities. Do they do sports? Do they do dance? Do they do other after-school activities, chess club or whatever? So sometimes the times that you may pick may not be available because they have something to do. Well, online would help out with that. But I really think that an in-person class would probably be best for a young beginner, even adult beginner, but for me, it's not working out that way. When you do go to find an instructor, remember, this is your money. You're spending your money on this. You're spending your money on your kid who's going to be taking these classes. So do an interview with the teacher. Do an interview with them. If they're any good, they'll want to talk to you about it. They'll want to make you comfortable with the money that you're spending with them. Find out what type of music that they play. Find out the style of guitar that they play. I mean, you can start off with rock if you want, and that's great. Some people want to do country. Some people want to do more classical. If that's the case, make sure that instructor is willing to do that. Do they read notes? Are they willing to teach you notes? Do you have to know notes? I'm finding out no, you don't, but you do need to know how to read some forms of music if it's not on the treble clef and the bass. You have to know that for picking it up, like the tab system. Learned that the hard way. I didn't really listen to Justin when he said, here, learn the tab thing at the beginning. I waited a little. Now I'm trying to catch up again and becoming more comfortable with it, and I am. But the style of guitar, do they have a flexible schedule? Do they have extra days? Some instructors only teach Monday, Saturday, Sunday. So if you need to switch something around and you can come in on a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, are they going to be able to do that? Are they not going to be able to do that? It's good for you to know this before you even get started. So talk with them. It's your money. This is your investment. Make sure that you're in with the right person at the right time for both you, or if it's your kid, because you don't want your kid to get frustrated. So find out what type of music your kid wants to do, because if the instructor doesn't do that kind of music, it's not worth it at all. But start. It's a lot of fun. I've been having a blast with it. I've learned so much already, and I know I got a lot more to learn. I've been watching all these great people on YouTube, how they're playing and stuff. There's a whole bunch of them out there that are just going great, and I'm glad that I found Justin Guitar. Like I said, I'm going to probably supplement with in-persons every once in a while, especially with that F-bar chord. I mean, they don't call it the F-bar for nothing, because it's effing difficult to do. So there is a reason for it. But get out there and start. It's a lot of fun. Help your child out. Make sure that you have the right lesson for the kid, the right instructor for the kid. I think in one of the next ones we're going to talk about the types of guitars and why I chose the guitars that I chose. Again, this one here that I have here, this Yamaha acoustic here, which has really held up over the years, especially from, I didn't, I guess, neglect it. I didn't abuse it. I kind of neglected it because it sat in a case for multiple years. But it still sounds great, and I love playing it. So but I want to talk about why I chose the other guitar that I have. So that'll be one in the future, and I think also some of the gear that I've had to buy is going to be another one in the future. But if there's something else that somebody wants to talk about or wants me to go over what I've learned, or you have something to say about, what your experience has been with instructors, with going online, what do you find is significantly easier for you? What are you finding that is like a roadblock for you with either one of these things? And so maybe somebody else can learn from it and not have to go through the same type of situation where they get frustrated like you and I have. If you have any questions, also get out there. Remember, I am a beginner at this, also a beginner at doing all these videos. So please be kind if you are watching and you're going to leave a little note. I'm up for constructive criticism all the time, but not for nastiness. We got enough nastiness out there in the world. Let's not do it on here. We're supposed to be making some wonderful music and making friends and making it a better place and making things fun for everybody. So please, no nastiness. Anyways, that's just me for today. Hopefully I'll see you again soon, and enjoy your coffee, because I'm going to go enjoy mine. Thank you.